You ever look around and wonder what really separates the wealthy from everyone else? Well, it turns out building wealth isn't about finding some secret trick. It's about mastering a complete framework. And today, we're going to break it all down.
Okay, let's just get right into it. This is the big question, isn't it? We all see people who work incredibly hard their entire lives, but just never seem to get ahead. And then there are others who seem to build fortunes. What is the fundamental difference?
Here's the thing. Wealth isn't some lucky break or a lottery ticket. It's a structure. It's something you build, deliberately, on a solid foundation, layer by layer. And if you miss one of those layers, the whole thing can come crashing down. So to figure this out, we've gone back and pulled the absolute core principles from 3 legendary books on wealth. We're going to build a 3-level pyramid to wealth, starting from the ground up. First, mindset, then strategy, and finally, your system.
All right, let's start with the most important part of all, the foundation. This is your psychological bedrock. Everything, and I mean everything, starts right here. And for this, we have to turn to the all-time classic, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich.
Now pay close attention to the word Hill uses, desire. He doesn't say a wish or a hope. He means a burning, all-consuming desire that literally becomes an obsession. This isn't just about kinda wanting to be rich. It's a deep, driving force that starts to shape every thought and every action.
And Hill doesn't just leave it at that. He gives us a practical 6-step formula to turn that abstract desire into something real. You write it all down, the exact amount, the date, the plan, but that last step, step 6, reading it aloud every single day, that's the one that changes everything because you're embedding it deep in your subconscious.
So here's the crucial point. As you're reading that statement, day in and day out, you are literally reprogramming your own mind. You start to see and actually feel what it's like to already have that money. You begin to expect success. You develop what Hill called money consciousness, where your financial goals feel not just possible but completely inevitable.
Okay, so with that powerful mindset poured as our foundation, now we need a blueprint. We need a strategy for what to actually do. So let's move up to our second level, drawing from Robert Kiyosaki's legendary book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Kiyosaki's core lesson is so simple, it's brilliant. Just forget all the complex accounting definitions you've ever heard for a second. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. That's it. That's the entire game right there. Now this comparison, this is the heart of the whole strategy. The middle class often buys what they think are assets, like a house or a car, but they're really liabilities that create endless expenses. The rich, on the other hand, use their income to buy true assets. Those assets then generate more income, which they use to buy even more assets. See that loop? Their money starts working for them.
So the strategy really just boils down to this. Focus on building your asset column. That's your main job. The poor and middle class, they tend to buy luxuries first, often with debt, which just creates more liabilities. The rich, they build up their assets first, and then let the income from those assets pay for all the luxuries. It is a total, fundamental shift in priorities.
All right, we have our unshakable mindset and our brilliant strategy. But what happens when things go wrong? Because they will. This brings us to the final protective layer of our pyramid, the system. And for this, we'll draw from Bennett McDowell's work on money management.
You know, you can have the best mindset in the world, the most amazing strategy, but one bad decision, one unexpected market turn, and it can all be wiped out. A system isn't the sexy part, but it's all about survival. It's the disciplined set of rules that protects your money so you can stay in the game long enough to win.
So what's a core rule in this system? Well, it starts with a number like this, 2%. Professional investors, serious business builders, they never, ever bet the farm on a single idea. They limit their risk to a tiny fraction of their total capital, like 2%. This ensures that no single loss can ever be catastrophic. It mathematically prevents you from blowing up.
But, even with a small risk, losses are going to happen. It's just part of the process. So what do you do when an investment or a business idea goes against you? This is the moment where emotion takes over for most people and leads to devastating mistakes.
The system's answer is what traders call a stop loss. But you can just think of it as a financial insurance policy for any project. It's a predetermined point where you decide, okay, this isn't working, and you get out to protect your capital. It is not an admission of failure. It's a key part of professional discipline that lets you live to fight another day.
And as McDowell points out, this is often a lesson that people learn the really, really hard way.
Nothing teaches you about risk like a serious financial loss. It's the ultimate teacher, but the tuition can be brutal. Having a system in place is how you learn that lesson without paying that devastating price.
So the key parts of a good system are all about discipline. You limit your risk on every idea, you plan your exit before you even get in, and critically, you keep detailed records. This creates a feedback loop so you can learn and improve, all while keeping your emotions out of the driver's seat.
So there you have it. Now we can step back and see the complete structure. We've laid the foundation, we've drawn up the blueprint, and we've assembled the tools, combining the timeless wisdom of these 3 incredible books.
This table really just summarizes the entire framework. Your mindset from Think and Grow Rich gives you that burning desire. Your strategy from Rich Dad Poor Dad tells you exactly what to do, buy assets. And your system from McDowell's work makes sure you control your risk and protect everything you've built.
Think of it exactly like this. Your mindset is that unshakable concrete foundation you pour first. Your strategy is the detailed architectural blueprint for the masterpiece you're going to build. And your system, that's the set of professional tools you use to construct the building and ensure it against any disaster. You absolutely need all 3 for a structure that's going to last a lifetime. See, creating wealth isn't some big mystery. It's a framework. We've just walked through the complete blueprint, from the foundation all the way to the roof. So the only question left is, what are you going to build with it?